Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Ramblings of an Insomniac. I am Courtney. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. How the heck is everyone doing? I know there's a lot of weather issues going on in different places. I'm kind of late to the party. I don't want people to think I'm totally living under a rock. I did know there was a major ice storm, a bad weather, ice and snow over like in Tennessee in that area. And to be honest, I have no idea how many states it affects. I should know. I don't know. I just know that Tennessee and probably many other states have been affected by this severe weather. And so I hope everyone is safe. My heart goes out to anybody that's affected by, I can't imagine, knock on wood. I have not had to deal with any kind of natural disaster. I was alive when Mount St. Helens erupted. But, we had probably like 1.5 inches of ash on our porch. But and I've been through little earthquakes, like, a handful of small earthquakes. And there have been fires in my area, but not where I live they were all around me. But in my city wasn't affected though by the fires. And I used to live in a tsunami area and we had tsunami warnings, but again, no actual tsunami, no actual fire where I lived. So I've been fortunate and my heart just breaks. It absolutely breaks when I hear of people that are affected by any kind of natural disaster. Well, any kind of disaster, natural or not. Nobody needs to go through a disaster. Just the word alone sounds ominous and terrible. Disaster. What a terrible word. I feel like I'm a disaster sometimes. I feel like I'm a hot mess. And full disclosure, I did another podcast. I recorded another podcast a couple days ago. And it was my first podcast in a long time. I didn't look at the date of when my last podcast was, but I feel like it's been like 3 weeks. And so I did a podcast the other day, and full disclosure, I'm not going to put it out because I was a little too spicy jalapeno. I got ahead of myself. I just was taking unnecessary digs. And I'm really genuine that you're trying. I am trying. That was a stutter. Rickety whack. Anyway, I'm trying this whole be a better person thing. What would Jesus do? I'm trying. So many times I have wanted to say things that probably weren't the most kind. And then I'm like, I'm a very kind person. And lately I get so caught up in all of this malarkey going on, and I feel the need to protect people that are being attacked. Again, I am a mama bear. I don't like bullies. I can't stand bullies. And right now I feel like there are so many bullies, and I am such a protector, defender of bullies. I've said before, I don't like weak people. And what I mean by that is I'm not talking feeble as in elderly or children or people that are truly, genuinely sick or genuinely feeble. I'm talking weak-minded, weak, like one of my ex-bosses. Weak, lets people I don't like that, but I have a soft spot for, I don't want anybody being bullied. I just don't. I'm a protector of people, and when I feel like an injustice is being done, it just really, oh my God, there's a bunch of deer. Oh, it's okay, babies. I'm over here. It's all good. We'll go over here. Oh my gosh, you guys, there's a whole bunch of deer. This is when I need to have my podcast where you can actually see it. But there's this deer along this path that I usually go on, and they're looking at me like, are you going down here? I'm going to leave them alone. I wanted to go down by the water, but they are enjoying it. So I have other options. We will go this way. We will go yonder. A path. See, we were going to go that way, and now we are changing course. We're so adventurous. This will take us on a whole new journey. Anyway. So I was going to do a podcast, and I got a little snarky and a little too spicy, and I decided that anytime I was maybe going to be out of line and say something that was a little snarky and, just being unnecessarily shitty. I don't need to do that because I am trying to work on, what I can do to actually be a grown-ass adult, be a healthy adult and not be petty, Tom Petty. So I was like, I'm going to read a passage of the Bible every time I was going to say something shitty. And I'm like, fuck, I'm going to see, I cuss. Well, I never said I wasn't going to cuss. God and I have conversations about this all the time. I'm like, look, I am going to make a lot of changes and I'm going to try a lot. I don't know about the cussing thing. I will give it my best shot. I'm going to try, but I am not going to make promises because we all, I don't want to break a promise with God. That's not cool. You'd never want to break a promise with God. So anyway, I decided I was going to read a passage of the Bible anytime I, was going to take a shot at someone. And I was like, dang, I'm going to have the entire Bible read like in a week because I'm like, oh, I was going to say something. Oh, read the Bible. Read the Bible. Oh, you mother, read the Bible. Oh, you effing, read the Bible. So, oh my God, there's more to, holy shit, you guys. Oh my God, that was a really cool, oh my gosh. Okay, so I was looking down at my phone, talking into it, because for those of you that don't know, I record this podcast on my cell phone. This is all recorded on my iPhone. That's why it sounds so crappy. And I was looking down because it's also raining because I'm being a dumbass and I've got my phone out in the rain because that's smart. In fact, I need to pause for 1 second to wipe off the water. One moment. Anyway, okay. So I'm looking down at my phone because God forbid I look up while I'm walking, like most normal people, they look up. I was kind of like looking down at my phone and I look up and there are 2 very large female deer. I'm talking, okay, so that's 100 yards. That'd be 50. We're talking like 20 yards. I kid you not, like 20 yards in front of me. I shit you not, just staring at me. And I look up and I have a dog with me. She didn't bark. She didn't lunge. They didn't move. We all just sat there like a deer in headlights, and nobody moved. They just sat there. I'm in this really cool, garden pathway area in a neighborhood close by. You're going to hear sirens. I'm not editing that out. Most people would edit that out. But again, when you listen to my podcast, if it's the first time, you're going to hear everything. Oh, shit. That's not good, though. That's a lot. Every time I hear sirens, I don't know. Parents will totally relate to this. I think almost every parent will relate to this. If your kids are not home and your kids are old enough to drive and they're out and about or something and you hear sirens, what's the first thing you do? Exactly. The first thing you do is, you don't want your kids to text. I always tell them, if I text you when you're driving, don't respond. If I call you when you're driving, unless you have like Bluetooth or whatever, hands-free, don't respond. But as soon as you are able to do so, let me know that you're okay. Because I'm sorry, I'm not trying to sound like a morbid, crazy person, but the first thing I do is I want to make sure my kids and my family are okay. So I do a roll call. And I know that's neurotic, and my kids used to always be like, oh my God, Mom. Oh my God, Mom, that's so annoying. And I'm like, oh, poor babies. Is it annoying that your mom loves you so much that she cares about you? What a hard life to live, that your mother loves you so much that I want to make sure that your freaking ass is alive. What a shitty time to be alive, right? And isn't it also funny when your kids have kids? This always happened. I did it. So I'm not saying this out of like, no, I did this to my mom. We all do this to our parents. We do. We think we know everything because we're hot shit, because we're kids. And somehow when you're a kid, we think we know everything. And then we roll our eyes and we act all shitty to our parents when they love us. And, or when they don't love us, or when they give us attention or not enough attention. We're never satisfied with our parents, what they do, right? No matter what they do, we're just always annoyed with them, and that's just a rite of passage as being a teenager, I guess, but, it's funny because when your kids become parents and they end up having the same concerns and feeling the same way, in your head, you're like, Oh my God, more deer. This is crazy. I feel like Snow White right now. I'm waiting for a bird to like, or Cinderella, both, I guess. I'm waiting for a bird just to come and like land on this is crazy. And I have a dog with me and they're still not like really spooked. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. We don't really want wildlife to be domesticated. To all those out there that have like pet tigers and shit, stop it. Stop. I mean, I can't even handle zoos. The only time I am approving of zoos are if it's genuinely a sanctuary because an animal is going extinct and you're trying to protect them, or from poachers, if you're trying to protect them from poachers, so you've got them, safe. Or let's say it was a baby and their mom died and you're trying to like nurse it back to health until they can go out in the wild, or they're hurt, they're hurt and you're trying to nurse it back to health so they can be released back into the wild. But let's not domesticate. That's so wrong. It's so wrong. Anyway, and it smells really good. I'm sorry. I'm sidetracked by all these deer and this wildlife and all of these, like all of a sudden things are already starting to bloom in this garden that I'm at. And there's this freaking tree that is just, it's like an Asian tree of some sort. I need to look because it's just stunning. It's a sentinel manzanita. Okay. I don't think that's Asian. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about, so I don't want people out there being like, oh, she thinks that's Asian. And then when I said it looks Asian, they're like, what's Asian look like? Is it slanted? Yes, it is, actually. It is. It's a slanted tree. That's why I said it. Just kidding. I just wanted to play into the racism at all. You got to lean into it like Ricky Gervais. You just got to lean into it. I've just decided to embrace when people call me these things. I'm like, just like I said, when people used to be like, it must be nice to be skinny. I'm like, it is. It is fucking amazing to be skinny. I love every minute of it. You should try it. You should absolutely try to be fit. You should try to be skinny. It's awesome. Because back at you, I'm back at you. Oh, but then remember, I have to calm down and go, okay, but that is not a nice thing to say. Oh, being nice. I am a nice person. I keep sounding like I'm not, and I am. And people are like, well, it doesn't sound like it. The proof is in the pudding. But I want it noted, the times that I'm not nice, quote, quote, is when I'm talking about people that are okay with like aborting babies and chopping off body parts of babies and lying and stealing and destroying things and being okay with someone being assassinated. Those are the people I talk smack about and I don't like. It's not like I'm just like out there talking shit to everybody. What time is it? Okay. God, my phone is getting so ruined. Hang on, y'all. Okay. I always do this crap. I will go outside. Again, in case you missed it, I record all of this on my frickin' cell phone. And so I'm out in the pouring down rain. My cell phone is just out in the rain, exposed, getting water on it while I am talking into my coat, trying to prevent it from getting even more water on it. So, that's smart. Dumb ways to get your phone ruined. That dumb ways to die. In case you didn't catch that, I was trying to do it to the tune of that. I could see how maybe you didn't quite get there. Anyway, so I did another podcast and I decided to let it go. Oh, God, I'm going to fall on my ass. What am I thinking? This is dumb ways to die. Even the dog's like, for reals? But it's so pretty. Again, how did she die, guys? It's so pretty. Oh, have you guys seen the show Ghosts, where Flower, the hippie, dies because she's on acid and tries to hug a bear, and that's how she dies? That's going to be me. I'm not going to try to hug a bear. I'm not an idiot. I'm not going to hug a bear. But I'm going to be trying to take a picture of some animal, and I'm going to walk off a cliff on accident or walk off a waterfall or, oh, God, again, the deer are there. Okay. Or I'm going to be like trying to take a picture of something, and they're like, they're so cute, and it's going to kill me. And that's going to be my famous last words. It's so cute. Boom, dead. That's no good. I don't want to die. Or like, have you seen the show, Shoot? I now had a brain fart. I'll think of it. She's a Ripper. She's a Grim Reaper. And dead like me. See, I get there. I always get there. I want it noted. I derail. I Biden out for a while. I AOC out for a second. AOC out. Clever. Clever, Courtney. But I get back to it. Okay. Okay. I really, dead like me, she dies because a toilet seat from the space station or something comes down and smacks her in the head and she dies. And I'm like, that is so going to be me. I'm going to frickin' die because some toilet seat is going to smack me in my noggin. And it's going to be something dumb. And I mean, I don't want it to be crazy like Final Destination or something, but you know that guy that they call the luckiest unlucky man? What did that guy do? That is just how in 7 different times, 7 different instances, this man has been put in the most horrific scenarios and lived through it. And I'm like, is God just really using him as a play toy? Oh God, I'm going to get smited for saying that. I'm sorry, God. That's not what I meant. I take that back. Dang, I might have just sealed my fate. But what a weird, like that poor man genuinely is like no mercy. That's terrible. I know he lives through all of it, but he has to go through all of these horrific things. I don't know. I don't know but yet, God forbid he like win the lottery 7 times, you know. That's some crazy shit right there. That's pretty messed up. Oh my God, my phone is being obliterated. Shoot. It's okay. Is that a dog? What's happening? It is a dog. Okay, we're going to go over here. My phone is getting all jacked up, man. Oh, cute. 2 dogs with the same coat. 2 dogs with the same coat. 2 dogs with the same coat. You know, fat guy in a little coat. I used to say that to my kids as dad all the time. Isn't that terrible? I'm not making a case for me being a good person. I am, okay? I am. So, again, originally when I started this podcast, it was because I wanted to talk about my mom, and I wanted to make sure that I got the word out about dementia and talk about COVID and the policies that were put in place during the Biden administration with regards to COVID and the many, many people that were affected by those ridiculous, horrific policies. And my mom was one of them. I was one of them because my mom is my family, and I lost my mom because of those ridiculously stupid policies. And I just, the whole reason I started this was I have so much PTSD and stress over the fact that I begged my mom to come here. I wanted her close to me. I wanted her next to me. She was at the stage where she really just could not be alone. It was not good for her. It wasn't safe. It wasn't safe for her. So, and I was not in a position where I could move there. So I have massive, massive guilt, like you would not believe, over the fact that I made her come here. But I know that she had to. I know that it was for her safety. So I it is true. It's true. I needed her here because of her safety, and I needed someone to care for her. And unfortunately, we couldn't have in-home care. She couldn't afford it, and she made just barely over the amount to have the state pay for in-home care, of course. And so by barely, I mean $300. $300 more. And I know you have to have a cutoff. I know you have to at some point you have to cut it off. I get it. But $300 over what she needed to qualify to have someone stay in her home and not uproot her life and not have to sell her home and get rid of the home that we lived in for 35 years. So I'm very bitter because so many people, so many mothers, fathers, grandparents, spouses, sisters, brothers, died alone and scared. My mom was absolutely scared to death. She was by herself, and all she had surrounding her was strangers. Somehow strangers were allowed to go to my mom, but I wasn't. Even after Republicans, there were so many doctors that were censored. Their actual constitutional rights taken. Their constitutional rights were taken from them, and they were censored because the Democrats refused to give accurate, factual, truthful information with regards to masks, with regards to COVID, with regards to staying 6 feet away. And nobody wanted to listen because they wanted to make money. Pfizer wanted to make money, and it's always about money. It's not ever about caring for people. It's never about actually caring for humans and what is good for humans. It's never about that with politicians. The government, whether it's ran by Democrats or Republicans, are always going to be shady. I think that Trump and Reagan are the two presidents that are the least shady presidents out there. And they genuinely loved, with Reagan loved and with Trump currently loves, our country so much. Doesn't mean that he's perfect. It doesn't mean he doesn't, humans, we're not perfect. So I started this podcast because I have so much guilt and trauma over the way that my mom passed. I truly believe she would still be alive. She died from being severely septic because they didn't take care of her catheter, because they were short-staffed, because nobody wanted to inject themselves with poison. And then the state of Oregon said, if you're not going to inject yourself with poison, we're going to take away your rights. Take away your rights, while screaming, my body, my right. They wanted everybody to not have their body and the rights to their body. They took away rights to their bodies and made people do it. Or they said, you can't work here anymore. You can't have a livelihood. You can't pay your bills, because the Biden administration is just that evil, and they're continuing to be that evil. And so I started this because I know that a lot of people out there were affected by the terrible, unconstitutional, deplorable way that the Democrats handled COVID. Again, so much information has come out, so much factual stuff that you cannot disagree with. You don't get to disagree with, because it's a fact that has come out regarding masks and the vaccine and COVID. And I don't appreciate people pushing those things on you. If you want to put that shit into your body, put it into your body. Inject yourself with Botox. Inject yourself with CBTB, whatever the fuck that shit is. It's Ozempic. Pump yourself full of Ozempic and Botox and all the vaccinations and silicone or whatever the fuck it is. Just pump yourself full of whatever crap you want. That's fine. But you don't need to be telling everybody else they have to, and I don't need to be kept away from my dying, scared mom. Do you know how scary and how sad it is when your mom is calling you and begging you to come visit her, and a government is telling you you don't get to be with your sick, dying mom? You don't get to comfort her. You don't get to hold her. You don't get to touch her. You don't get to look her in the eyes. You don't get to hug her. But you know who does? Random strangers, like all of the staff of the assisted living facility. They were coming in and out of there like a fucking circular door, just in and out. Everybody was in visiting my mom. Somehow strangers were allowed to touch my mom, talk to my mom, sit with my mom. But her daughter wasn't. And they were allowed to touch my mom, be with my mom, sit with my mom, and then go into another room with another patient, with another resident. They were allowed to go in room to room to room. And you're going to be like, well, they had gloves. I don't give a shit. I can wear gloves. I can do all of the things. I would have done all of the things. So I told you, I decided, go fuck yourself. I'm going to see my mom. And if you want to arrest me because I want to see my scared, dying mom, then so be it. Fucking arrest me. I don't give a shit, Keisha. You don't know me. I will do anything for my family. Anything for my family. And the state of Oregon and the government isn't going to prevent me from seeing my dying mother. So again, I've said this before, credit to the assisted living facility. They didn't call the cops the first couple of times, and then they're like, I'm going to. And I was like, whatever. So I kind of laid off for a bit, and then I came back, and then unfortunately my mom died. So I have a lot of guilt, and I don't want people to forget how terrible and horrible and evil the Democrats have been and are. And again, I'm not saying every Democrat, so I need to stop saying that. But the Biden administration and those that are on board and were on board with taking away constitutional rights, with taking away safety, with taking away children's rights, women's rights, all while saying that their rights are being taken away, yet nobody can come up with a single right that has been taken away from them on the left. They're just like, oh, well, I hate Trump. Fantastic. Why? Because I hate Trump. Why? Because he's racist. Give me an example. I can't. Charlie Kirk's racist. Give me an example. They can't. They can't give examples of their feelings. How basic and rudimentary is that? What a basic thing to do, and they can't do it. It's just odd. So I don't want people to forget. Do not forget about the things that they are forcing people to see and do, all while trying to say it's in the name of kindness, it's in the name of peace, it's in the name of love, like they're a pastor, like they're freaking Dr. Martin Luther King out there. No, it's not. It's in the name of selfishness. It's in the name of narcissism. It's in the name of righteous virtue signaling. It's all about them. And if it's not about them, they'll throw a temper tantrum until it is. They'll throw a parade until it is. They'll make their own flag just for them while screaming oppression. I didn't know oppressed people had their own flags. I didn't know oppressed people had parades and months of the year dedicated to them. Very interesting. I guess my definition of oppression and yours is vastly different. But again, we all know that the left doesn't know definitions of words because they throw out fascism and racism and bigot and capitalism and dictator like it's the word the. And they don't have a single clue what it means, and it's proof. Proof is in the pudding because they use it incorrectly constantly. So, I just don't want people to forget about the things that have been happening. The voters fraud, the factual voters fraud, the factual Russian collusion hoax, the factual, the facts are they want kids to be mutilated and sex trafficked, and they don't care about our rights. They care about illegal alien rights. They care about men's rights, not about women's safety. We need to remember these things when we vote, and we need to do our research. Please don't take my word for it. Don't take my word for it. You shouldn't. I don't take people's word for it. I do my own research, so I encourage you, please, if you think Charlie Kirk's a racist, please watch in full, in their entirety, the things that he says, not edited clips by CNN who only want you to see one point of view. No, don't watch edited clips of one point of view. Watch actual full-length clips. Do your research before you make decisions. You know what a good decision is? Listening to my podcast. You knew I was going to say that, didn't you? You knew it. But thank you so much for everybody out there that's been listening to my podcast. Oh, by the way, I encourage you to watch 50 States in 50 Days with Ryan Trahan and his wife, Haley. If you haven't watched it, it's good, wholesome stuff. Kids can watch it. Totally good, clean fun. They raise money for St. Jude's. They raise money for St. Jude's and go out there and get some like Joyride candy. It's candy that's actually like, well, good for you, as good for you as you can. But, and while you're watching 50 States and 50 Days, you can go drive somewhere or listen to my podcast after or before. Thank you to every single person out there that's been listening from the beginning or just tuning in. I appreciate you more than you know. I genuinely do, from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much for listening. Tell a friend, tell a neighbor. Until next time.